Between 1977 to 1979, a small council house in Brimsdown, Enfield, London, supernatural activity was claimed to be happening between two sisters. This case has become known worldwide as the Enfield Poltergeist, one of the most, if not the most, documented cases on supernatural hauntings. In 1977, Peggy Hodgson, a single mother of 4 children, heard banging coming from upstairs. She thought it was just her 2 daughters horsing around, putting it down to them pushing and shoving each other. After a few moments when the banging did not stop, Peggy thought she would be telling her daughters, Margaret and Janet, the eldest, to stop fighting and to go to bed. But what Peggy witnessed when she opened that bedroom door sent shivers down her spine. Her daughters were cowering in the corner with terror on their faces. The 2 daughters started hugging their mother tightly, shouting at her, telling her what was going on, and that the chest of drawers was moving towards the bedroom door and would not let them leave. Peggy looked at them, laughed it off and told them don't be silly. As Peggy tried leaving, the chest of drawers moved towards and shut the door behind them. Peggy finally realised the girls were telling the truth. Peggy and her children ran next door, screaming at what they just witnessed. The neighbours, they entered the house and all they could hear was banging coming from upstairs, even though the house was supposedly empty. The police were called and began looking through the house. During this search, one of the officers witnessed a chair move along the floor, to which they immediately started looking for any strings or wires or any kind of device that would make the chair move by itself. They found nothing. They put this into their report that they did witness the chair moving all by itself, to which other police officers started laughing and mocking them. To this day, they still stand by it. When the strange incidents continued, Peggy decided to call a popular UK publication, the Daily Mirror, a tabloid newspaper, to come and investigate the supposed supernatural occurrences. But when the reporter and the photographer arrived, the house sat silent for hours on end. It wasn't until the reporter was about to leave that something happened. The photographer, Graham Morris, came back and a Lego brick hit him above the eye. He still had the mark a few days later. This is when the Daily Mirror called the Society Psychical Research, who sent Maurice Grout to investigate the case. During his stay at the house, Grout has said he witnessed more than 2,000 different incidents of supernatural activity. It was also around this time that certain things would begin around the house. Janet, speaking to the ITV news press, came out with the following. Furniture was turning over, cups filled with water, fires igniting all by themselves, voices, levitation. The most frightening encounter was when a curtain wrapped itself around my neck next to my bed. It was also during this time that the poltergeist started speaking through Janet. The girl would often go into a trance-like state for hours on end, where she would speak in a deep, scratchy voice, claiming to be the ghost of a man named Bill Wilkins. It was later proven that Bill Wilkins was once a resident of this house, and he did in fact die of a hemorrhage while sitting in the living room. Now, if you're a fan of the Conjuring series, you would believe that the Warrens, Ed and Lorraine, were the ones who got Bill Wilkins to talk and to also banish the house of all evil. In actual fact, they were involved in a very less degree than what was portrayed. They arrived in the summer of 1978, not Christmas time, and were just 2 of many investigators that visited the home. The Warrens did publicly state, though, in an interview with Fangoria magazine, that those who deal with supernatural day in and day out know that the phenomena are there. There's no doubt about it. The Hodgson family have told that a priest did come to the house in the middle of 1978 and did perform a ritual, to which the house has supposedly been free of any violent supernatural activity ever since. Peggy and her younger son Billy stayed in the house until Peggy passed away, but up until her death she always claimed, as well as Billy, that there was always the presence of someone watching you. Billy left the house after Peggy passed away and a new family moved in. The new family, the Bennets, the children were always woken up nearly every single night by voices coming from downstairs. Claire Bennett, the mother, learned about the history of the house and what happened with the previous family, the Hodgsons. After living in the house for just less than 2 months, Claire's son woke up to see a man walk into his bedroom. They left the very next day.